Hello student, very good morning to all of you. How are you? I hope you all are happy, healthy and fine at home. Do you remember what were we discussing yesterday? I think we were described about the Hirsutherlone B, and as we know that look at on the blackboard, we are going to discuss the Hirsutherlone B. So that type of the discussion we already, and there are two structures is written on the blackboard, and that one A is called as a Hirsutherlone A and second one is called as a Hirsutherlone B. So what is the major difference between these two structures? If you observe these two structures very closely, you will see here is a succinamide type of the moiety is present over here, but here the amide type of the lactam type of the moiety is present over here. Here is a succinamide, there is a lactam. As we know that if carbonyl adjacent to the nitrogen, if it is present, amides are present in the ring form, whatever ring form is formed, that ring form may be as the either 3 member, 4 member, 5 member or 6 member. So then we generally call it as a lactam. Remember here lactam, right? Lactam, and now this moiety is known as a succinamide. Succinamide, that type of the moiety is present over here. And also the main difference between this Hirsutherlone A and Hirsutherlone B, the main difference, the Hirsutherlone A containing as a succinamide is a moiety, whereas Hirsutherlone B containing as a lactam moiety. So that is the major difference we can observe, we can notice in this molecule. Understood this one? Now the numbering system is same in both the cases, but the number of chiral center, number of stereogenic center in this case are the same or different. If you observe both the structure carefully, you will see in this case also there are 10 chiral centers are present, and here also we already labeled by the asterisk star, means there are 10 chiral center. If you observe this structure carefully, here also you will observe there are 10 chiral centers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. These are the 10 chiral center. Chiral center means the carbon atom attached to 4 different group, or the carbon atom carry 4 different group are known as a chiral center. And if chiral centers are present, that type of the compounds are optically active in nature. Remember, only one chiral centers are present. If suppose as a different more than suppose as a 2, then there is some criteria. You have to find out whether there is a plane of symmetry is present, or whether center of symmetry is present, whether alternative axes of symmetries are present. If those symmetries are present in that, then that compound is optically inactive in nature. So that is the point we have to consider while studying the optical activity when the molecule having as a more than 2 chiral centers are there. But here the multiple chiral center, so how many possible according to as a Horn's-up rule, 2 raised to n, n is a number of the chiral center. So 2 raised to 10 So you will get as a number of number of isomers are there, and out of that isomer only one isomers are find the exhibit or shows the medicinal property, and that's why we are studying this compound. And as far as the ring is concerned, look at, there are continuous 3 ring, core 5 here, generally as 6, 5 and 6. This is a generally core present here, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6. 6, 5, 6, these rings are fused together, that core. So number of rings are present in this case are 6. Remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So how many number of 6 membered rings are present? There are 6 membered rings are present. So look at here, 1, 2 and 3. 5 membered ring, how many 5 membered rings are present? 2 5 membered rings. One is here and another one is here. And the 12 or 13 membered ring, 12 or 13 membered ring is present over here. So in the both the cases, that is what we can call it as a membered rings are present. So let's see the introduction, and this we are discussing a total synthesis of hirsutolone B, and which was described by K.C. Nicolo, David Serla and T. Robert Wu and Wang Zhang. So this paper was published in 2019 in Angchem International, volume number 48, and page number also given 6870 and 6874, nearly as a 5 pages are there. And this figure 1 shows as a molecular structure of hirsutolones A and B, which is represented in the figure. Now hirsutolone, pyrospirones and pyrosidins belong to growing class of fungal secondary metabolites. These are the terminology generally used in the medicinal chemistry. So growing class of fungal secondary metabolites whose biological properties include antifungal and antibiotic activities. Why we are studying this? What is the reason behind to study such type of the compound? In my previous lecture I already told you that this is the compound which shows the promising biological activity, or it include the biological activities antifungal and antibiotic. Antifungal and antibiotic. These are the two important property exhibited by this molecule, and that's why those scientists as well as the recent scientists are trying to synthesize this molecule by the different way, and they are trying to find out the molecule compound which is easily or the readily available in the market, so that they can synthesize, they can prepare the compound on a large scale. So that is one of the important objective behind to study this molecule. And The reason behind to motivate the young mind to do such a type of the standard research, they should get attracted toward this type of the compound, whose biological properties include antifungal and antibiotic activities. This is the two important biological activities exhibit by this molecule, that is a hirsutolone B, and that's why the study of this molecule is very prominent. Particularly impressive are the activities of hirsutolones A and B. First A and first B, figure 1, which is represented over here, against Mycobacterium tuberculosis. It's a very important one. That is this. Let me clean over here. So this is the property which they are exhibiting. That is a Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Tuberculosis. That is one of the disease, is a very dangerous disease. By using this, we can control or we can cure that disease. So, against Mycobacterium tuberculosis, MIC is taken. MIC is equal to 0.78 microgram per ml. This much MIC, the is taken over here. And MIC, as we know that, what is the full form of MIC? Minimum inhibitory concentration. MIC is known as a minimum inhibitory concentration. This is the full form of MIC, minimum inhibitory concentration. The causative pathogen of tuberculosis. Look at this word. Isolated from the insect, pathogenic fungus. That is one of the type of the insect. Isolated from the insect, pathogenic fungus Hirsutella nua. BCC, the number is given BCC 2594. That is a trade name is given to that drugs, is known by this number. The hirsutolones share a number of unique structural features. These hirsutolone share number of unique structural feature. These hirsutolone share a number of unique structural features, including a 656 fused tricyclic. This is this one. 6 5 6 fused tricyclic fused tricyclic. This is a unique feature of this. The structure in this is a very molecular architecture where the 6 5 6 fused tricyclic, this is one of the unique feature of this molecule. Tricyclic core. A gamma lactam here, the gamma lactam, this is known as a gamma lactam, which is this is a major difference between hirsutolone A and the hirsutolone B. Gamma lactam or succinamide, which we have seen. Gamma lactam or succinamide. Containing a moiety, a 12 or 13 membered, containing a moiety we know that, containing a moiety 12 or 13 paracyclophane, this is a paracyclophane moiety which is present. Structural motif which encompasses an aryl ether linkage. This is a aryl ether linkage. Here the aromatic compound and there is a aliphatic. So AROR, that type of the linkage, mixed ether linkage, is that type of the linkage are present over here. The structural motif which encompasses an aryl ether linkage and stereogenic centers, that is important one. Stereogenic center. There is a 10 stereogenic center, means achiral center or the asymmetric carbon atom. 10 are present. 10 stereogenic center. In view of their promising biological properties, I already told you, in view of their promising biological properties as a lead compound for new anti-tuberculosis drugs. New anti-tuberculosis drugs, and because of their challenging molecular architecture, the hirsutolones are deemed important synthetic targets. In view of their promising biological properties as a lead compound for new anti-tuberculosis drugs, and because of their challenging molecular architectures, the hirsutolones are deemed important synthetic targets. Herein we report the total synthesis of hirsutolone B1B in its enantiomerically pure form through a strategy that features a number of novel cascade sequences and chemoselective reaction. Chemoselective. Chemoselective reaction means what? These are the words which we are hearing in the organic chemistry frequently. So you should know the meaning of that chemoselective. Chemoselective means what? Suppose as a molecule containing as a many functional group, and out of that different functional group, only the reagent, whatever reagent we are adding, that reagent react selectively with a particular functional group. That type of the terminology are called chemoselective. Out of the many functional group, only one functional group gives greater reactivity toward that reagent, and we get the different compound. So that type of the terminology are called as a chemoselective reaction. And from the 5 rings within the hirsutolone B molecule 1B, the most synthetically challenging is the 12 or 13 membered paracyclophane, whose strain is, look at here. If you start the numbering from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, right? 13 membered ring it is. From the 5 rings within the hirsutolone B molecule 1B, the most synthetically challenging is the 13 membered paracyclophane, whose strain is exacerbated by the presence of the other structural motifs associated with it, and its forging was therefore designed to proceed through a sequence involving formation of a larger ring and subsequent ring contraction. And for the equally intriguing fused tricyclic core of the target molecule, we intended a cascade sequence from an acyclic carbon atom chain precursor containing an epoxide moiety as an initiating site and a trimethylsilyl group as a terminator. Scheme 1, present in retrosynthetic format, the device synthetic strategy for the total synthesis of hirsutolone B 1B as it finally evolved. Thus, the hydroxygramma lactam moiety was expected to be formed spontaneously from the corresponding ketoamides, whose origin was traced back to the styrene containing paracyclophanes. Let's see the retrosynthetic analysis of this molecule. This is a target molecule which we have seen over here. Let us see how retrosynthetic analysis can be carried out over here. As we know that retrosynthetic analysis, retrosynthesis means what? This is our, there is a target molecule. Target molecule means what? The molecule whose synthesis being planned is called as a target molecule, and the retrosynthesis means what? An imaginary but logical reverse chemical reaction which helps us to reach the reactant starting from the target molecule is known as retrosynthesis, or it is a reverse of chemical reaction, or it is a art of backward reaction is known as a retrosynthesis. And retrosynthetic analysis means what? The process of breaking down the target molecule into a convenient starting material using disconnection and functional group interconversion is known as retrosynthetic analysis. These are the terminology we are frequently using in the retrosynthetic analysis. So here also we are going to do the retrosynthesis of that hirsutolone base by using as a different approach. Number one approach, because while doing as a retrosynthesis we are generally breaking as a bond. What kind of the bond we have to break? So here you must think logically. You cannot break the bond randomly. So you think logically. So you break those bonds. You break the bond whose method or who you already know the method of making that carbon-carbon bond or whatever hetero bonds are there. Then and then you can break. You cannot break the bond randomly. So there must be logical thinking behind breaking the bond. So that is retrosynthesis. And in the retrosynthetic analysis, two important words you heard. One is a disconnection and another one is a FGI. Disconnection means what? An analytical operation which break a bond and convert a molecule into a convenient starting material is known as a disconnection. And functional group interconversion. Functional group interconversion, sometimes it requires the breaking of the bond, no doubt about it, but you cannot break the bond without knowing the method of forming that bond or making that bond, and therefore there is a need to convert one of the functional group into as another, so that you can able to break. So what do you mean by then functional group interconversion? Functional group interconversion means what? One of the functional group is converted into another functional group so that disconnection becomes possible is known as a functional group interconversion. And the another terminology also used here in some cases. What is that? For example, is a synthon or synthetic equivalent. Synthon which is associated with the polarities. After disconnection, the fragmentation we are getting in terms of positive and negative. That polarities are generated after breaking that molecule. So that type of the fragmentation are termed as synthon. And synthetic equivalent means what? The synthon carrying the function of the synthetic equivalent means what? The reagent carrying out the function of synthon is called as a synthetic equivalent. This is one of the important terminologies are generally used while the discussion of the disconnection approach or reagent, and everybody knows the reagent. A compound which react to give an intermediate or target molecule itself is known as a reagent, and the molecule we know that target molecule. The molecule whose synthesis being planned is called as a target molecule. So in this particular case, the target molecule will be the what we can call it as a hirsutolone B. That is a 1B. That is hirsutolone B. This let me draw that structure hirsutolone B. As we know that a 5-member ring, then it is joined together. Here this is a compound double bond, then here also as a this bond. I am showing, I am representing this molecule on 3 dimension, so that you can remember this. There is oxygen atom, then NH, here also as a OH. Now here is a para cyclophane ring is present over here, and which is shown here. So double bond over here, one double bond here. There is an oxygen atom, and you can show as a dotted line up to the joint to the 5-membered ring. Now here the hydrogen atom at this corner point is shown by the dotted, and where exactly trans junction over here, and here the hydrogen atom, and here you can show as a this hydrogen atom, and here one of the methyl group which goes below the plane, and this is a structure is known as a 1B, or it is known as a hirsutolone B. This is a structure of hirsutolone B is represented over here. Now we are going to do the retrosynthetic analysis, an imaginary but logical reverse chemical reaction. So while doing as a retrosynthetic analysis, where to focus? There are certain criteria, certain things to keep in mind. First, observe the molecule carefully and recognize the functional group. How many functional groups are present over there? And if the heteroatoms, heterocyclic rings are present, then you can break firstly that one, and to get this is a structure of 1B hirsutolone B1, and as we know the disconnection arrow always represented like this. So here the bond which we are going to break over here from this. This is the bond which we are going to break. This is a amide formation. This is a amide formation or epimerization Amide bond formation or epimerization or hemiaminal formation or hemiaminal formation. And then after doing this, what do you get over here? The compound number 2 we are going to get over here. I think the retrosynthetic analysis of this molecule we will discuss in our next lecture. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you.